I realized that the problem wasn't the fact that I couldn't change my life. The problem was that every single time I tried, I would want to be a completely different person overnight. And this is something that kept me stuck. This is why today we'll be talking about the real reasons why you can't stay consistent. But before I get into that, let me first introduce myself to my newcomers and say welcome. My name is Olerato, the founder of Dreamers Elevation Network. This is a place where we teach you how to use your skills and your passion and turn them into a profitable business. And for my lovely people who are coming back once again, I say welcome family. Let us dive in together on today's topic. So the very first thing is the problem is not laziness. At times we like to think that the reason why you are not consistent is because you're lazy. Sometimes that is not really it, right? Sometimes the problem really is that your brain is refusing to be disciplined because you consistently keep putting a lot of pressure on it, right? And usually when this happens is when you are emotionally exhausted, because when you're emotionally exhausted there's really nothing that your brain could allow you to do because it just wants you to rest, right? Remember, we are not superhuman. At times our brain just shuts us down because it says that you as a person, you can't take yourself to bed and really rest, right? The second thing that impacts your consistency is the fact that you keep comparing yourself to other people. Just because you see an influencer on the internet waking up at 5 a.m. every single day to go to the gym, have breakfast, do this and do that, you also feel like it is something that you're supposed to do. The only way for your life to work is when you do just that. But that is not really true, because now you start putting a lot of pressure on you to do that very thing that you know is not aligning with you. Why? Because right now you're struggling to wake up at 7, but you want to go from 7 to 5. You understand? So now comparing yourself could also be something that is impacting your consistency. The other thing is that you are trying to be successful and heal at the same time. Usually when this happens is when you're trying to take your mind to do this and then to do that. Remember, we can only focus on one thing and be successful, right? This is why you may not be consistent, because your mind is automatically being directed to different places at the same time, right? So now you need to understand that consistency is not built on pressure. If you do that, then I guarantee that you will not be successful, right? You're trying to transform your life overnight, and that is something that is very bad, because when you do that, as I said, we go back to that, you create unrealistic expectations of yourself, which makes you feel like you are a failure, if at all, unable to meet those things that you have set for yourself. Right now, you need to understand that trying to change everything all at once is something that won't help you, because as you always hear people say that you can't have an overnight success, they really mean with everything in life. You can't try to be successful overnight. Other thing is, you keep making routines that are for your ideal self and not the current self that you are in. I hope that made sense. That I understand that you have an ideal self. There's this person that you want to be like, right? But your routines are centered around this person and not the you that you are right now. Here's an example. Your ideal self is very energetic. Your ideal self is someone who is consistent, someone who's motivated, someone who knows what they want in life, who's just so fired up and has been elevated, right? But now you're creating habits and routines that suit her and not you. That means that now you're tampering with who you are. This means that the routine that you're setting for yourself doesn't really work, and then you end up not being consistent. The other thing is that you are creating schedules that are not realistic. You're creating schedules that don't match your current reality. This is what I mean. Usually, you'd find that someone works a 9 to 5 job, they have a baby, they have social media to, maintain, and yet they create a schedule that makes it seem like they are free people. Free, I mean, like they don't go to work, they don't do anything, they're just going to focus on that schedule. This is why that you create schedules that don't really fit your reality. So the only way for you to win this is when you create schedules that are fitting where you are in this moment. When you work a 9 to 5, you need to create a schedule that allows you to go to work, come back, not feel too exhausted because you did that in the morning, and then now there's work, you have to do house chores at home, and everything becomes so overwhelming to a point that you don't feel like doing anything anymore, and then we don't become consistent. So note this: real consistency is creating schedules that, or systems that work even on your low days. That is the best thing that you can do for yourself, because you won't wake up motivated every single day, right? So you need systems that can accommodate that. The third one is identity based habits. You need to understand that to create habits, you need to create habits that are a part of you, or you work so that they can become a part of you. People who are consistent don't always wake up motivated, and so now that they don't always wake up motivated, they need habits that can become easy to them. Just like how you brush your teeth every single morning, it's something that comes easy to you, right? Because now it's a part of you, so your habits should be like that. A typical example could be, instead of saying that I am trying to do journaling, you can say something like, I'm becoming someone who consistently checks on themselves. You see, there's a shift of perspective in that way. So make sure that your habits become a part of you. And remember this: small changes or small actions matter more than big resets. You don't need a dramatic reset. You just need to change this and this and this and this and this and that. And trust me, your life will be completely different after some time. You just have to be patient with yourself. Now, the fourth one: habits that are less energy. This is what I mean. You need to make sure that every single thing that you set for yourself, they don't require a lot to do. Especially now that you are now overcoming being overwhelmed, you still struggle with consistency, they need to be low energy. Make sure that the schedules that you create for yourself, they don't put a lot of pressure on you. It's something that it's just, you can complete it. You need to have at least the one thing that you set to do in a day, one productive thing that you do in a day, and others will just be the habits that you keep interchanging every single day. The other thing, your schedules need to be flexible, because here's the thing: there are emergencies in life. Things don't always go according to plan, so you need to take into account that, so that as much as you get an emergency, you're still able to meet the schedule that you have set for yourself, right? The other thing is that don't put pressure on yourself. Repeat that with me: don't put pressure on yourself, because as I said, your brain, you keep on putting pressure on it, it will refuse to be disciplined. It will just shut her down, because now you're not allowing it to process every single thing that you say you want for yourself. Now, another thing: consistency is not about being perfect. It's about trying that one thing every single day until you manage it. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about, doing all these things, all these small actions on daily basis. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't need a dramatic reset. Like I said, you just need to change small things in your daily life until finally your life looks really different. Now, if at all this video has helped you or you have learned something, do support by pressing the subscribe button and pressing the like to show me that this has really made an impact in your life, right? Posting more content that is gonna help you to understand who you are, understand the problems that you're going through, and how you can be able to navigate through them, right? Now, the goal is not to become a completely different person. The goal is to become the type of person that you love, you care for, the type of person that helps you to feel confident in yourself. That is the goal. Right? I'll see you on my next one.